Austin, we're going to ask after we talk to Mercedes. We're going to ask what's the plan next. So we're going to move to Mercedes now and talk about her race really quick. As Mercedes, you were in the first heat as well for women.
Yeah.
And how are you feeling going into the women's race?
For that heat, I was feeling all right. You just have to get top 2, and I was pretty certain I was up there with those ladies, so I was all right with that one.
And so you're racing on Saturday. That's when the women raced. Men raced on Sunday. Austin, are you there at the finish line waiting for her? Where are you at to watch the race?
Yeah, we were at the finish line. It's actually really nice when they split up the days like that, and I can just be a spectator for Saturday.
I wondered if that was I was like, nice call. Like, yeah.
As a spectator as well, it makes it much shorter of a time period to be watching as well. Because the nice thing about this year, it was less, hey, we have to get boards back up a ways. Yeah. They have to recharge, all those things. It was nice not to have all of that as a spectator. Much more easier to consume. But it was nice on Saturday to catch it for women and then men on Sunday. So, Mercedes, you go first, and you don't, like,
solid.
You sail through all the heats till the final, right? You get to the finals. There's pretty, if I remember correctly, pretty drama-free for you.
Yeah.
Right?
It was a good race, yeah.
Yeah, and so you make it to the finals, and it was like, yes.
That she should be there.
This is who I picked. Yeah. This is who's going to do it. And then you get to your race, your last race, and you're lining up for the finals. What's going through your head? You're lined up with some heavy hitters. What were you thinking?
You gotta stay on your board and go as fast as you can through those straight parts. Because, like, I'm pretty tiny, so I can get the board up to a little bit faster speeds.
Yes, thank you. I keep trying to tell people that the lighter you are, the faster you can. People think I'm crazy when I talk about my kids on pints. And if I was on an XR, some of those kids could push those pints fast enough to hang with me on the XR. I was like, it's just weight matters.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on, like, how you finesse the board as well. You can't just, like, what happened at the end was I just stomped on the front of it, and you can't do that. It doesn't matter what you weigh, you're gonna dig the front end and you're gonna go down.
Yeah.
But when you're getting up to those speeds, it's between your weight and comfortability. But I mean, I know some of the men, they weigh more than I do, and they're still getting faster speeds than I am. So it's not all about the weight, but you can certainly accelerate a little bit faster whenever you weigh a little less.
Yes, it helps. Then I think it also is, I'm going to say, some mixture of stupidity and risk. Somewhere in there is a mixture of those, and knowing when is the right mixture. So I have plenty of scars on my body where it was too much stupidity and okay, so you make to the final race for the women, right? That's correct, right? Okay. So we have, what footage, ladies, back at the table, do we have the final race? Yeah. Okay, can we hit that? I don't know if we have the entire race, Mercedes. The pups.
1 second.
Amazon is delivering something.
Quiet.
They're just, we get it.
Protectors.
I love that.
I don't think, can you go to the wide shot in the room, ladies? Can you see one of our pups sitting down at the floor of my feet? Yeah, let's hit it. There he is. Our chocolate lab.
That's so cute.
He's just chilling right there. Now
That's so cute. He's like pretty much center.
Sometimes when he gets excited, it's something else. He takes off, and then he doesn't care if there's power cords going to cameras, and he has been known to tear down a camera or two. So.
Yeah. Yes. But usually mine.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, so let's roll the footage of Mercedes. I don't know where we start in your race, Mercedes, so we could be in the middle of your race, okay? And you'll just have to... We're fairly towards the end here, right?
Yeah, that's like the second last berm.
Yes, here's the berm. We're coming to the berm where your husband ate dirt.
Yeah.
You come around. and you can tell you're
that same
mashing it
curve.
there. I stopped breathing, Mercedes,
Yep.
because you're gaining on her.
Oh, this is
And
awful.
then, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I
I
hated
scrubbed
that
all
for
my
you.
feet. I kind of panicked a little, made a couple of rookie mistakes, and panicked when she passed me, and I tried to pass her immediately instead of staying on my fast line. And then that just stepped a little too hard on the front, and that's when I wiped out.
Yeah, I'm telling you, my heart rate was up, and I wasn't even doing anything but watching you, and my heart sunk. And here's what, I didn't know this until the next day. You were fortunate enough to be able to get back up on your board and get across, right? And still finish the thing. And then you go to the men's race. I didn't even think about it. When Tyler wipes out in his heat.
And gets passed.
And gets
off
passed.
the board.
And his board doesn't come across, all that stuff. You're like, oh, no.
Yeah, because it's a matter of how close was third place or wherever you stand.
Mm-hmm.
How close were they behind you?
Like, the rule is you and the board have to cross, or the board? What's the official rule?
You have to be on your board when you cross.
Yeah, he fell right at the line and lifted his board across the line, so he actually got disqualified.
See, they don't tell us. Like, that's where I did say this weeks ago on the commentator stuff, and I get they're new to the sport. But at home viewing, I don't know those things. Like, I don't get all those little nuances of the rules, so you didn't know, like, what is it? Is it the board?
The assumption was he just got passed, and that was that.
And then he walked. I knew he walked across with the board, but I didn't know that was an illegal move. It makes complete sense.
Did he just forget that in the moment? I'm sure they briefed you guys of all of that.
I don't know that he had time to get back on it.
Yeah, I mean, he literally fell across the line, and so I think he was just so fluttered that he just picked up his board and
right.
He was just over the line as soon as he did that.
Yeah, and it was a dust bowl. I mean, even as a spectator, you didn't know what quite happened there. Mercedes, how did that, you obviously your podium, you're going to have a podium spot, but were you just like, that's not what I came for? Or are you just like, hey, it's okay, that's just the way it goes sometimes?
I mean, of course I had a little bit of disappointment, but honestly, I was super happy to finish in second with it being my first race season. So I was pretty proud of that. And yeah, I mean, next year I'll definitely be coming for that first place. But
Yeah.
the second for my first race season was pretty exciting.
I think the class act move, and it's not in that shot there, but you come across the finish line, obviously bummed, but you immediately go in and give a hug.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Every time. Because, like, I'm always having such a blast racing, and I know that it's intense for everybody in that, and it's like a huge relief. And to be able to like share those moments with these women, it's an honor.
Yeah, I just thought again, a different perspective. Being a dad with two daughters that love racing and they love to be competitors, but to have somebody, even my boys, going, look, she is disappointed, yet she still was a class act, top shelf human being to come in and hug. And just say, hey, Ann, I still can be happy for you. I can be disappointed in the way I just thought it was cool for young kids. We don't get to see that in an athletic world very much, where people are like still okay with the opponent winning. Your pups didn't get enough airtime last time we did this, so we understand. It's okay.
Yeah, we need a little airtime.
I was going to say that too, specifically like our girls right after the race. I had mentioned this earlier. They looked at us and said, I am inspired. And that's just awesome. It's something that for the One Wheels, we started with the family. The kids were doing it as Scott got into it. I'm trying.
No, you're not.
Not at all.
No, you're not.
But I do love watching them. Like, it was just cool. It's just an awesome sport. And then to have you guys representing it. And for our kids, it's awesome. We appreciate you guys and the attitude that you have with it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so you've alluded to it next year. So what now? Let's get to what's next for you this year. Are you done and just taking it off, or you have a couple more things on your schedule?
We have a few more things coming up. So Float Life Fest, of course. And then after that, we'll go to the Wisconsin race. And Let It Ride is a week after that. So a few more races coming up this season. There's also a 50-mile race in LA.
What? I didn't know this.
Yeah, it was just posted maybe a week ago. There's not a ton of detail on it yet, so I'm really excited to hear more about it. But yeah, somebody in LA is putting on a 50-mile race, and that's November 5th, so it's like a couple weeks after Let It Ride.
That's awesome.
How do you picture that going? 50-mile race? Like, you obviously are going to have to charge, right?
Yeah, they said that they'll post some more details about the charging situations and like how all of that will play out. So I'm really excited to hear how they do that. And then yeah, we'll be taking a few months off for the winter, but technically not off. I mean, we'll be in the South riding and stuff.
Getting better.
Get ready for next season.
Thank you. I do want to say a big thanks to everybody that watches every week on our YouTube channel, our podcast, or you listen to it. Without you, what would be the point? It would be just us hanging out in here doing nothing. Subscribe to the channel as we try to pump out as much one-wheel content.